Wild West Hackin Fest in Denver. That's right. I know I'm a little early this morning, so I'm not really going to start the show yet. I'm just bored. And yeah, so yeah, figured I'd get in here. I messed around like a phone person. Does that make sense? I keep looking over here, but the camera's there. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really like a phone person. I don't like doing a bunch of stuff from my phone. I check email and texts. I do roll like everybody else, but other than that, I'm not like my wife who does everything on her phone. I most of the time I just want to take my phone and throw it at a wall and go, "Who does anything with this garbage?" It is crazy. I don't see the chat room again. Let me see what we got here. Oh, there we go. Super user do. What's up, dude? Let's go. And if that's cool, so it just pops up. This is like only the second time I've used my phone as my live stream cam. I got it flipped this way because I like this, like the horizontal view a whole lot better. But yeah, I just figured we'll chat. Good morning, Terrace. And if anybody that's joining us today is at Wild West Hackin Fest, hit a here. Yeah, just type in here or something like that, and I'll continue to remind that. We will be doing the morning pour, but we are waiting. What time is it? It's 7:43. So, oh, thanks, Terrace. Good morning. Yeah, we had a lot of fun yesterday. It's like I like to have fun. I think everybody else does too. So I don't want to not do that because it seems, you know what I mean? Like they give us a sheet that we can read, and I probably will do a little bit of that. But most of the presenters just wanted to go. I know Mike like really well. Mike is my bro. So I kind of had some fun with him, and Kathy was up there with me as well. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well. I really enjoyed running around doing I don't want to get too deep into this. I'm just kind of rambling a little bit because we're a bit early to the party, so some people might not realize I was trying to figure out how to schedule with my phone schedule because I'm not sure if you can schedule, and of course hotel Wi-Fi. Chef's kiss, right? It's amazeballs. It's total garbage is what it is. So I'm not using my laptop. I thought, I got a phone. It has a great camera. We'll just use that. Why are we making things complicated? I'm assuming everybody can hear and see me very well because no one's going, we can't hear you and we can't see you or anything like that. There was right before I tried to start this, it was blank because I did try to do some of the scheduling of the live stream using my phone, and it just was unintuitive to me. But apparently I did because it said there was a live stream scheduled at 7:27, and okay, whatever. Technology, just why is the experience so much more different? Thank you, Terrence. Good morning, Jeffrey. Glad to have you here this morning. We're not. This is like a soft start to the show. I'm gonna wait until the actual top of the hour before we get into anything really interesting. So I'm just kind of rambling about how much I hated using my phone to do this, but it is convenient because I can just walk around with it and do stuff, right? I didn't have to lug. So like I did AMA with Zach a couple days ago for Anti-Siphon student Q&A for Discord that we do. I think we call it Antisocial? Yeah, Antisocial. And he had a whole, rigs and tripods. And I mean, I do have a little janky tripod that I have to set up on, but that was the only piece of gear I brought. I have these two little microphones. I think they're in my bag. Good morning, Dan. What's up, sir? The Lowry is live. That's right, LeGrat. I am here. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Daniel, Haircut Fish. Hey, LeGrat. Everybody's starting to rolling in. But yeah, man, I don't know why I just don't make the experience. So like YouTube Studio, and maybe I'm just missing it. Again, I don't spend like. I'm assuming all these modern interfaces were developed with generations that are not mine. in mind because, my kids grab a phone and they're like, oh, this is easy. And I'm like, what is up? This makes no sense. This is ridiculous. Having fun in Denver. Useful presentations. Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, yes, I'm having fun in Denver, right? There's a lot of just good talking to people and seeing people in person. People coming up to me, like the real Bilbo Baggins, like got to meet him, right? Like I've never met Fleetus in person, so it was awesome. Wow, I am early today. Hey, Weens, World. Yeah, I am. I was a little bored just sitting around waiting for the stream to start, and Jerry, I think he cut out early. So I was like, yeah, turn on the cam, do the thing. You know how it goes. But right, I'm in Denver, and it's really pretty out here. Weather's been good. It was really cold the first time, yesterday and the day before. It kind of warmed up a bit. I think it's supposed to get cold again. Yes, yeah. I didn't know they were going to do that. I don't know if they mentioned that they were going to do that. So I kind of kicked. I usually kick in during jaw jacking on Fridays. To show support for Simply Cyber because I love Simply Cyber and Jerry's my bro, and so I like to jump in there as much as I possibly can. Good morning, Brandon Maverick. And so I was only on for like a few minutes. I'm like, did it stop? I'm like, what's going on? I was walking around my hotel room doing stuff. I was like making my bed and stuff and trying to get ready for all this business. But yeah. Where are we at on time? What do we got? We got about 12 minutes before the real show begins. Good morning, Daniel. Boy, we got a bunch of Dans in the... You, Erica Fish, me. If I get Daniel Wimberly from Anti-Siphon, then we'll really make it a party. I have fun in Denver. I'm having fun. I got to walk around the city a bit. I've been to Denver before. It's not my first rodeo in Denver. I used to spend a lot of time in Colorado, but it's been a while. So it's kind of nice. A lot of decent food here, that kind of stuff. The hotel's nice. I've stayed at worse. I'm looking at you, Luxor. The Luxor. Blech, not a fan. Just not in one man's opinion, wasn't my favorite place to stay. All the talking I'm doing, it makes my voice even more deep than it normally is. Just because it's being put through the paces. I'm a little groggy. But hey, right? It's part of the convention experience, as it were. And we got ourselves about 10 minutes before we get super fired up and we get the show started. This is just a soft start to the show. And because I was bored waiting for it to start, but once the hour tops, we will. You've got movie announcer voice. That's right. In a world where tacos are unavailable. I don't even know why I would say that. I wouldn't want to live in that world. I gotta be honest with you. Tacos are delicious, tasty things. But again, it really kind of comes back to not my voice. Kind of switching gears back to just being at a con. Okay, I'll hold on. Wayne just jumped in with that he's in LinkedIn jail. Okay, so yesterday or the day before, Wayne, I'm on LinkedIn. You're there. I was gonna respond to something, and I was like, let me go do this really quickly, and then I'll come back and respond to Wayne. And then your profile pic was like gone, and I'm like, that's weird. And it was like, this some content from this person might be inappropriate. And I'm like, do you want to see? I'm like, yeah, I want to see. What are you talking about? Wayne's never inappropriate. Like the most inappropriate person in the world is Wayne. Why is this happening? I'm like, stinking, these social media things, they get a hold of you by the short and curlies, and they just do whatever the hell they feel like doing. And I mean, I've never had like a hard strike or any strike of any kind, but it's stinking, it's weird that they would like, I guarantee Wayne has done nothing wrong. I'm glad you're back. So, LinkedIn, garbage. Stop with that crap. This is someone was trying to steal your account. So, okay. So it wasn't that they thought you had done something wrong, because from the way I saw it was like you had inappropriate content. That's what they said to me as I tried to answer a DM from you. And I was like, what? No. Wayne does not. Yes. So they need to like just say, hey, this account is being, audited or whatever is under review at this point in time. Please check back. I mean, a simple thing, not Wayne's content might be inappropriate for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. It's like, really? That's the warning I got. Straight up was like, what are they? There's no way Wayne did something wrong. Anyway, where are we at? 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go before we do the real thing. But thanks everybody for showing up. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do the normal thing where it's all scheduled and I can let you know and YouTube lets you know. Again, I tried to schedule with the phone. It was just janky. It was weird. It kept trying to start the live stream. That was the thing of it. It was like, okay, I got the schedule. White Hat Sheepdog, what's up, brother? Welcome. And Casually Joseph's here. And a couple other people are here as well. They're in the chat. So my background probably looks like a lot of their background. Right? It's like, funny. We're all in the same studio today. If we're doing anything live. Oh, I got to be downstairs. So I'll probably, that's a good thing I started early. No. I don't have, I have to MC today, but it's not until later in the day. So I'm good. I was sitting here thinking, oh crap, I gotta be down there at like 9. The show starts at 9. I mean, the con starts at 9. The first talk is at 9 o'clock. So Chris Whitlock in the house. My man, Mustache IT. What is up? Can I see that? Yes, I can. That's amazing. Okay. That's always good. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Tacos are awesome, Casually Joseph. Street racing is not. And now he gets that joke. Fun fact, kids. If you street race and the police catch you, you're going to jail. It's just, it's word on the street. I wouldn't know from experience or anything like that. But you have been warned that if you've got yourself a little proclivity to want to test your car against another on the highways of Florida or anywhere else, probably, they might take exception to it. And they being Johnny Law. Where are we at? We got 5 minutes to go. All right, look, okay, 13. Okay, my clock's there. Oh, good morning, everyone. On mobile, some mentions don't work on YouTube. That's right. That is so, again, this is dumb. Dumb. Why is that the way it is? How's the weather? The weather's been actually good. It hasn't snowed. It was really cold the first couple of days. I've been here. Today is my 5th day here. We're not in the Fast and Furious series. No, I was not. I'm starting to look more like Vin Diesel. I have to shave my beard up. I wanted to Vin Diesel it up. Hey, look at that. Super user do. Wayne's Real World. Somebody trying to steal your account. Yeah, it sounds like the makings of a fun game. First to book a pic of themselves of the thieves' address wins. Yeah, that could be fun. Anyway, not sure it works. Yeah, so Legrat, it didn't. Well, maybe it did. Chris, did your name? Because I've done that in the past on my mobile. So that would be good information for us all. It doesn't so if I were to go to type back to you guys, right? And I typed in @Legrat. So if I started @ and then LE maybe, it would pop up and give me the option to choose anybody with a name that's kind of starting with those letters, and then if there's only one, it would just be that one person, right? You guys know, what am I talking, right? You're on flipping YouTube, but on the mobile, it does not do that. It just doesn't show autofill. Yeah, did it highlight? But Chris, did it highlight you? Like, did you see your name highlighted in the chat? Because that will be good information to know. I'll be very interested in knowing whether or not that works. The only problem is that in gray. Okay, so it didn't do red, it just did gray. Gotcha. Interesting. We are coming close here, people. 3 minutes. Okay, so it does work, but then you've got to be like, no typos, right? And I don't know, but some of y'all got like some difficult screen names to get. It's like, oh my God, please autofill. Why do you hurt me with your screen names? They're funny and I love them. Okay, so that's good to know. I love this, right? We're all learning together. It's fun. Yeah, mine is always a great field. Somebody asked me something. Oh, that was for the stinger. That's funny. Good morning, Mr. Gunkel. See, that would be not a fun screen name to and have to type all the way out, because like you got to double click the capitalized and then uncapitalized and then, you know, not that I hate your screen name. It's great. It's just that the YouTube mobile, we're bitching about the YouTube mobile right now. And how not fun it is to work. How is the stream, by the way, guys? Is Chris? I got you covered, bro. Right now, we don't have the camo cup, but we're still getting it. Good. I was worried that because I'm just rolling over 5G right now, and yeah. Oh man. Okay, we're T-minus like. Hold on, wait for it. There's the 1 minute countdown. Oh, excellent. Yeah, definitely show Sophie some love. Good job, Wayne. Thanks for looking out. My old partner in crime. Miss hanging out with her, but she is moving on to bigger and better things in life and doing that sports stuff that she loves oh so much, that voodoo that you do, oh Sophia. But man, it was, I spent, 2 or 3 years almost exclusively working with Sophia. So we became very close friends. And, I kind of saw her as like one of my kids because she was so young. I got girls myself, so I probably turned into Papa Bear a little bit, especially when we were out and about. But, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2. And here we are. Welcome to CyberCast IRL, the actual official beginning of CyberCast IRL. We had a very long, soft start to CyberCast, but hey, that's how things go from time to time. And for everyone that has been chatting so far, we were just discussing Miss Sophia Goodwin. Big shout out to her. Much love. Partner in crime. I miss you much, kiddo. So I heard you posted something on LinkedIn. I will be checking that out as soon as I get done here. Thanks to Wayne's Real World. That do we all pretend that we just joined? Oh, you can. That would be fun. But I am live at Wild West Hackin Fest in Denver. And now we can start talking like about details, because I didn't want people to like miss those details, because this is the official start of the show at 10 a.m. Eastern, but it's 8 o'clock here in Denver. I guess it's Mountain Time, right? Is that Mountain Time or is it Central? I think it's Mountain Time. Mountain Time. But now somebody mentioned that they were sad because we wouldn't start the day with the morning pour because I'm not home. But that is not true. I would like to thank Luke J, who found me day one. Like I hadn't hardly walked through the door. I was going down the escalator and I feel tap, 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 and it's a white monster on my shoulder, and I hear a voice from behind me. He's like, "White monster," and I look, and it's Luke. So thank you much, Luke, for the white monster. We are having fun at Wild West Hackin Fest here in Denver, but let's get this out of the way, shall we? Let's get that morning pour. I'm gonna do the crack. All right, crack. Oh, there's the camera. Oh yeah, there it is. And let's see if we can't get. Where's the audio on this here? Oh, Oh yeah. No, that's it right there. It says don't do crack. Oh, it's liquid crack. I do love it. It is bad for you. I think that like, and my morning is complete. Well, welcome, study GRC. Um, I think that it's more like in moderation, right? It's fine. I mean, crack's not. You don't do any crack at all. But hold on. Oh, my word. This is the OG monster for me. Luke has always been like on to me about doing getting White Monster, drinking White Monster. mm. He's like, you gotta try White Monster. I'm like, bro, you don't even know. I am old school White Monster. I have drank White. That was where it all started because I was like, Red Bull was okay. And then I tried the original, that black and green Monster Cup. Did not like it. Still don't. I do not like that. That is like someone peed on Sweet Tarts or something and liquefied it and gave it to you. It's like, no, I'm good. That's nasty. So I was hesitant about this one. And then but back at the old studios, it was, Legrat, straight up. It was the green OG white, Monster, the original can, and then it was this white one, and I was like, well, things are different, so I'll try this White Monster thing. It was like, wow, this tasty. I'd like to thank the gentleman from Starbucks who gave me a free cup of ice for the morning pour because I did not have a cup for this. Wayne, thank you. Super user do ask when Sophia will be a guest. So, I bounce back and forth about the whole guest thing. There's a lot of work that goes into guests with the restream keys or whatever the case is or however you're going to do it. And it's like, I need this to be easy, honestly, right? I need this to be easy. And that starts like complicating things. So for CyberCast, like a lot of people ask me, am I going to put this on Spotify? I've thought about it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put this on a podcast thing. This is where CyberCast IRL is going to live. Unless something in YouTube happens that makes me want to go, double birds to YouTube. For me. And then then we would talk about moving it to somewhere else. But right now, I just need easy stuff. I have so much going on in my life that I need everything to be as streamlined and straightforward as possible. And we've already seen that, like, even the home studio thing can like flip upside down on you and give you a hard time. So I want to get everything to where I can set it and forget it. When it comes to guests, I'll have to like gradually work on making that an easy lift. Once I have that in place, then guests become an option. Okay? I don't know when that's going to be or how long it's going to take. And I'm sure you're like, oh, it's easy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure it is. Everything's easy until you go to do it. And then it's like, why is that not working? What's the problem here? Oh, well, the page I'm reading says you click this. I don't have that button. Why is that button out there? So things get weird real quick when you actually like start doing them. Yeah. All right, Haircut Fish. Dan, what's up? Asking me if I like anime and what is my favorite. Mr. Gunkel Seconds having, let me do this. Here we go. Having Sophia on as a guest. They love Celsius watermelon energy drink. Sophia used to drink Celsius all the time when we did Technado. X Ernie 12 says he passed Security Plus last night thanks to this guy in ACI Learning. Well, you're welcome. Me to you, sweet. Those people that shall not be named. Not a cyber question. Do I like it? Okay, so here it is. I'm at anime. Okay. And then the Stinger says when Monster came out, we used to call them cans of. Ah, that is funny. Y'all can read the. You guys can read the chat. That is funny though. Okay, so let's get up to the anime question. So yes, I do like some anime. I grew up on anime. I mean, I'm an 80s kid, so we were watching anime before we realized we were watching anime, right? Like Voltron and stuff like that. Like I loved Voltron as a kid, Thundercats. Like, of course, I loved Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes and all that other stuff as well. But I didn't realize I was watching anime when I was young. And then my mom actually was like, "Oh, these are like Japanese cartoons, son." I was like, "They are?" She, yeah, it's Japanese cartoons. I said, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." So you're talking about more modern stuff. When I got into my late teens, a friend of mine introduced me to Dragon Ball Z, and I was hooked. And then Gundam Wing. I never got into Sailor Moon. I watched a little bit here and there, but I didn't like attach to it. You're talking about the most recent. One Punch Man has got me. I love that show. Everything. Like I just love One Punch Man. It is so entertaining. It is extremely entertaining. I kept seeing like little clips on my YouTube shorts as I scrolled, and I would watch little bits. And I was like, oh, that's kind of really interesting. And then one day I turn on streaming services as I'll rotate through them. I'm not having all of them on at one time. This is what do I have made of money? I don't think so, right? So I think we ever have more than like 3 or 4 streaming services. And so I think we had recently turned on Netflix at one time, and I was like, oh, they got One Punch Man. All right, let's try episode 1. Let's go to episode 2. Episode 3. Oh, this is good. I like this. I sat there with my son and watched it, and he's doing the punch. It was so funny. We were having a lot of fun. So yes, I do like One Punch Man. I like a lot of anime. I've started to get into like One Piece. I've just watched a little bit of it. So much, yeah. Robotech, Transformers, right? Star Blazers, Attack on Titan. I think I've seen some of Attack on Titan. Yeah, like Cowboy Bebop and Ghost in the Shell. Someone said Ghost in the Shell. Let's see here. Man, my chat went away. I gotta get back up here. Okay. What's up, CJ? First time. What's up, Matt S? Welcome to the show, bro. Mustache IT says he scheduled his Security Plus exam for last week of this month. Well, thoughts and prayers go out to you, bro. Hopefully you are successful in that. Study well. Don't worry too much about it. Like, don't get too much test anxiety, because that can definitely totally hamstring you in the test booth. But I feel like if you're taking Security Plus, it's probably not your first rodeo there. Japanimation, yeah. Akira, oh yeah, good one. What else we got here? Stinger says, Grandizier Go, our Star Blazers, 80s baby, yeah, man of culture. Akira, right? Speed Racer, Naruto. Like I said, man, there was a lot that I just didn't realize were anime. So there is a bit of an anime culture, I would think, and it's probably because of all the people that grew up with it, and then now it's so much more prevalent that I'm not surprised that a bunch of cyber geeks love anime. But let's talk cyber stuff, right? We've been at it we had a good warm up, right? Let's talk about the con. Welcome, Carson James. So if you're here, shout out to everybody that's out here in Denver. Please stop me if you haven't already. I'm sure some of you already have. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of like craziness. Like if you let the con people, they will drain the energy from your body in a good way, right? Like, because the party literally just about never ends. So you have to know your, like, I'm a guy who knows my limits, and I'm the fuddy-duddy that's like, well, it's like 8:30 Eastern time. I'm gonna go take a shower, hit the rack, so I can be prepared for today. I don't like getting off my time schedule if I can help it. Just because I don't want to have to readjust when I get home. I want to be able to be there with my family and just go back to my normal routine like nothing ever happened. So if I can help it, I do that. And that's one man's plan. What's your plan when you go to cons? Do you just party like it's 1999, or and just stay up and do all the stuff and hang out with everybody, or do you pace yourself? And, I'm here for 5. Like I leave tomorrow morning, so I have to work. I'm one of those people, and now this hasn't been like too difficult as far as work goes. I've had a lot of fun. I did some emceeing. I got some MC work to do today. Sat at some booths, talked to other people at booths, did some glad handing, talking, hanging out with people that know us from Anti-Siphon, know me from X, Y, and Z other things. So I am busy in that sense. MCing was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I got to MC for and introduce Mike Saunders for his talk on jargon and jigsaw. I made a joke about when are we gonna get jargsaw or jigsaw, where he takes the two techniques and splices them together. We also got cool badge stuff going on, right? Where you can go to the vendors and there's our badge for, so you get you a good look. I'll turn it on. What am I doing? Turn it on. Let's see what it does when it turns on. Bing. There we go. Now we got stuff. Like and blinky blinkies. I have not done any vendor badge stuff. So what you're supposed to do is right there is a little, like, I guess an antenna. And it's like a near field communications antenna. And of course I can, let me see here. Beep, beep. There you go. You can get some cool stuff going on there. Hopefully it's the right way. It looks backwards to me. It's mirrored. But yeah, and then I think with B, it can show you like what vendors you've gone to, what staff you've gone. You try to unlock everything. It changes colors and does really cool stuff. Shout out to, like, I'm pretty sure this is the same badge that we had at Deadwood in October. So because it takes a while to develop a new badge, I think it's just rebranded and reprinted. But yeah, shout out to Ray and Mike Felch, who make these badges. Very fun. Everybody loves them. They're always a good time, And I think they upgraded these a little bit, so they were a little more sturdy, because the last iterations, the manufacturing wasn't as good as they had hoped. But this time it's apparently much more solid and way better to go. So, tasty, right? Let's see here. So yeah, we got badge, cool stuff going on there. What else do we got going on? So good talk. Let's talk talks. I mentioned Mike Saunders, Red Siege. He did his talk yesterday on jigsaw and jargon, and these are techniques that he developed for bypassing EDR detection and AV. So I've seen him do this in the past. Me and him actually did a whole series on this back at the place that shall not be named. But he also has like a 14-part series. So if you go to Red Siege, go to their YouTube or go to their webpage, and so redsiege.com, and in there somewhere, I don't know if it's on the blog or whatever. Like I said, I don't have my laptop or anything in front of me, but go there and find his 14-part series on AV EDR, detection bypasses. Great stuff. And I love, Mike is very much, me and Mike are cut from the same cloth in a lot of ways. And what I mean by that is we're very utilitarian, right? We're very pragmatic in how we do our the cybersecurity. A lot of people in cybersecurity get very, dug down in the minutiae. They learn all that can be learned about something, and then as they encounter it, they react with that body of knowledge. Where Mike and I are kind of the same kind of people, where we're like, I have a problem, I must fix problem, and then even if it's garbage crap, as long as it works, I'm happy with it, and then I move on. I don't go, oh, I must come back to this and make it very elegant. I'm not an elegant programmer because I'm not good at it. I don't pretend to be. I hope I've never done that. I am not good at coding. I like that I can do it because every now and then it comes in really handy. If I want to automate something, make a new tool, or do something that is, I need to solve a problem, especially when it comes to cyber. I'm like, oh, I could create an exploit for this because it's really simple. I can have it scan for blank because that's not a difficult thing to do. And then once that happens, make the right calls. Maybe if that's through a network connection or through HTTP or however it does it. If you just pick up some of the basics of coding, you can kind of fumble your way through making the thing that you need and then go, cool, it does what it does. And Mike is like that, and I love that. And he totally was admitting that yesterday because there were some apparently very smart people in the crowd, because I was running around with a microphone taking people's questions, and they were asking him some really high level stuff about efficiency, what was the threshold on this and that and the other. Great questions. And Mike was like, great question. I don't know. Because he says he's in GSD mode most of the time, get stuff done. So he's just getting stuff done. And once it gets to where it works, he moves on. I'm the same way. So I like that about him. It was a lot of fun. Super User Dude says, that's encouraging because I suck at coding, but I'm pretty decent at being stubborn enough to make something work in the jankiest way. Welcome to the club, buddy. Right? That is straight up me. And I think that because we can admit that I'm not a developer. Super User Dude, you're probably not a developer, right? That's not my job to be awesome at it. My job is to be able to do it so that I can, it's like a part of my job. It's not my job. Okay? I like how we've gotten into talking about dubstep in the chat. Lindsay Sterling, the queen of dubstep. Very cool. So yeah, that was a great talk on jargon, and it was really cool, his technique for this, and he's got them in GitHubs, but it ultimately was creating arrays, but he's using Python, so it's a list, it's not an array, right? Or a dictionary. However, apparently Python doesn't like to use the term array for whatever reason. And that's just word on the street. I don't know if that's true or false. I can neither confirm nor deny what goes on with that. But instead, so what he does is he takes your shell code, right? So if you want to run shell code, yeah, right? Wayne is saying the EDR chat was great. It was great. And I've seen him do it. I've watched him use these techniques and make shell code run and bypass AV and EDR. So very cool. But what he does, he takes your shell code, which is written in hex, right? So if you go to MSF Venom dash payload of, interpreter, blah, 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 and do all your fun stuff. So if you're running on a Windows machine, so Windows /i64 / shell reverse TCP, whatever, right? Then you give it all the stuff, and it spits out the format I want it in is C. Spits it out. There you go. There's your 351 bytes or whatever it is. Shellcode. You copy pasta that into your shellcode runner, and you compile and send it over to your Windows machine. Even Windows defenders will be like, whoa, so I see what you tried to do there. And no, we don't do that here. That's not what we're doing. And so it'll delete it. Windows Defender will quarantine and delete and do the whole thing and not let it run. And Mike's like, okay, what if I made basically a dictionary lookup for the shellcode? So instead of feeding it a blob of shellcode, I give it hexadecimal values just randomly, the ones that I need for my shellcode, and then I map that to words, like an actual words. This was jargon. And I say, okay, so I'll just take the English dictionary and I'll stick it in there. And this is all great because of entropy, right? High entropy and low entropy will cause AV systems to go, hey, what's what you got there, right? Because high entropy, let me see if I can remember this correctly. High entropy means that there's a lot of, I always get this backwards, so hopefully I'm getting this straight in my head. High entropy means there's a lot of randomness to it, which is apparently a good thing? No, a bad thing. Yes, a bad thing when it comes to AV and EDR, because they see that as like, oh, you're using encryption, and encryption is oh, that might be something janky because you're trying to hide. So why is it encrypted? No, we don't. No, yeah, right. So even that alone could fire it off. So it solves the problem of kind of like there is no blob of shellcode in there that is a known signature, and it lowers the entropy or raises it, whatever. I can't. Ask Mike Saunders, right? Right. High state of randomness. Thank you, Code Brew. Makes the entropy go lower, and therefore it's like, oh, it's normal. It's just a normal thing, no big deal. And so what happens is you kind of give it a map to say, this is the map for the shellcode, and you just kind of do a lookup and fill in the bits in memory, and then boom, fire and forget, right? So very cool stuff there. And big shout out to Mike. And I love that he was like, I came into a problem, it bypasses CrowdStrike, and I was happy. I was like, I would have been thrilled to death if I'd have came up with that. I mean, that was pretty good, right? And then Jigsaw was even more complex. It was actually even he was having trouble explaining. He's like, I don't think I've ever explained this. I don't know that I actually. Mike said that he doesn't really understand whether or not he understands it. It just does work, though. He got it to work, and it works, and it's crazy. He said it's like you take a jigsaw puzzle and you dump it out on the table. There's my shellcode. It's just a big jumbled mess of garbage, and I just need to put it back together in a fun way. So that was really neat, but great questions from the crowd too about context-specific things. So instead of using something like, going back to the jargon thing, instead of using, what do you call it, like the English dictionary, like if you were in a specific context, like you knew that your client was working in a Cisco shop, or they were Microsoft or something like that, using something from one of those vendors as your dictionary, like grab a ULA or something like that, right? Something that had a lot of Microsoft-y things or a lot of Cisco-y things or whatever, and use that as your dictionary to map for your shellcode. And it's like, yeah, that could totally be such a really cool thing, right? So that was that one. And then another really great talk was with Joshua Wright. He's a SANS instructor, or SANS faculty fellow, I think was on his bio or whatever. He works for Counter, right? Is it Counter Hack, I think? I gave a great talk on IDOR. Show of hands, how many people know what IDOR is in the chat? Give you a second there to just say, just throw in insecure direct object reference, right? So there we go. We're getting hands in there, right? Everybody that starts into, right, Haircut Fish, we got Daniel Piknik. Wayne knows what it is. Oh, and Wayne watched the class, so he's going to be able to like really enjoy this. It was a great talk. It was so good that I know. So Kathy Chambers was with me. She is not a tech person. Picnic, gotcha. Very cool. She's not like a technical person. She's a project manager. She's a broadcaster. She's worked in that space. She does find cyber very interesting, which is why she's getting a degree in ag science. So she can like bring cybersecurity and ag science together. So very cool. But like as far as pen testing and stuff goes, that's not her game. But she was locked into this talk. It was entertaining. It was a lot of fun. Stinger, good job. Everybody that's getting this, right? So IDOR is one of those things that you kind of learn about as a freshman when it comes to web app testing, right? Because it's one of those things that are stupid mistakes. CJ, good job. Right? Those stupid mistakes that coders make and go, yeah, that's right. I didn't think about people, firing up Burp Suite or, bringing up the inspector tools and being able to see that data. Or, yeah, I stuck it in the URL. That was dumb of me. Yeah, so that's an IDOR, right? So it's something sensitive that the end user should not have access to. And it comes by the way of incrementing numbers, or prices of objects at a website, right? Or amount of objects. Like, there's a lot of things that the end user shouldn't really be able to fiddle with or even see, right? It should always be done on the back end. But it happens, and it's such a silly little mistake that it can become mundane and boring for people that are continuing their education. Now, here's Josh Wright with a massive pedigree behind him. I like the treasury payment system, right? Yeah, that would be bad. And he's talking about IDORs, and he started his talk about, like, when you become a pen tester, it can become a bit of a, it's a job. I mean, it can be cool, but a lot of times it can become, like any other job, apparently. So he said, I missed having fun, and I hate that it can take away the joy of doing it. He's like, so I wanted to have some fun. So we started looking for, he's like, you know what, I'm just going to go with something easy, like IDOR. Or something sparked his mind. That's what it was. He was at a restaurant. It was great, like how he saw that on the check, there was interesting things with a QR code. He used his tools to, like, look at the QR code and see that it was like, oh, this looks like it's got all sorts of weird stupidness going on inside this web app. And that's not going to fly. So he started looking and playing around with it, and he realized, like, he took IDOR, something simple, and the IDOR didn't allow him to, change a check price or any other thing really sensitive. And that's where most people stop. That's where most people would say, yeah, I mean, you have access to, like, check numbers, and you can go see until it's paid. I guess you could pay people's checks if you wanted to, because that was the example he was giving, is that his check had all this information on it and took you to a website that had a web application that, you started looking under the hood and you could see all sorts of stuff. And he was like, but if you just keep going, right? Well, yes, in and of itself, that IDOR might not be seemingly anything too jazzy, but if you start to really see, well, what information do I have access to? And you analyze that information, and you start to put together a puzzle of a bigger picture to say, well, what I could do? I can see, like, how much money they were making every day, because I could see the checks. And then I could just easily write a script that tells me per day what they were making, what day they were making the most money, what day they were making the least money, and then any other places in town that are using the same application for their check processing system and people to be able to payment, that I could see that they are more competitive than us on Thursdays. And it looks like because they sell bacon and eggs like crazy on Thursdays with, it was the senior plate. Okay, so a lot of seniors are going to this place on Thursday for bacon and eggs. I'm going to run a special, right? It starts to give you the ability to, like, that would be good information to take to a client or a potential client and say, hey, I actually was playing around and I noticed this and I did that, and bing, I could give you the keys to a marketing thing, or go to their competitor or whatever, right? Maybe it's unfair marketing. You know what I mean? That's like, if you keep going down the rabbit hole, you might actually uncover some very useful information about that system that seemed very trivial and mundane out of that little tiny, that just crazy little IDOR that happens all the time. And it's like, whoa. Is the same true for, cross-site scripting or CSRF? Well, we obviously know that cross-site scripting and CSRF can lead to horrible things like, account takeover or impersonation, session hijacking kind of stuff. But, what about, like, open redirects? The simple stuff that we tend to learn first and then go, you never see those, right? Those are so dumb. No, you see them all the time. You just don't think much of them because a lot of times they don't give you anything cool, right? Maybe you just keep pulling at the thread and it does give you something cool, right? What can you amass informationally, right? Because he was bringing up all sorts of cases like Dell. Dell had this happen to them where like 48 million records of client information was pulled through a weird iDoor in their warranty system, right? That's the kind of PII leak that the only reason they found out about it is because apparently the person that discovered that iDoor started trying to sell that information, and that's when they were like, oh, what's that you got there? Let's see what time it is. 8:30. I might take you guys downstairs just to let you see the room here in a minute. Oh, have I missed anything in the chat, or is everybody just listening to me yap on about random stuff? I'm giving you the Cliff's Notes of the con so far. Dorota, I cannot pronounce her last name, and that is my fault that I can't pronounce her last name. Guess our Stofy win. One day we'll get old Soph in here. Lindsay Sterling is the queen. Oh yes, very cool, very cool. All right, let's see here. What else do we want to talk about? Con stuff. What's good stuff about going on in the con today? Vendor stuff has been great. Barricade Cyber's here. So that's Eric Taylor and Casually Joseph. Shout outs. Big one. Lots of great training was going on. I sat a bit in a couple of different trainings. The talks have been great, Legrat. They're really enjoying them. Can't wait to see what's going on today. I'm emceeing, so I'll get to see a couple at least. And what else do we got? We got a couple of lab things going on. Lots of hands-on stuff you can go play around with. And that's one of the great things about going to cons is that a good con will set up stuff like that so that you have not only stuff to hear and absorb, but stuff that you can get your hands on doing. Like we got a lockpick village. And I know that seems very cliche, but it's so much fun, and it's such a great way for people that are new to kind of get into the con because, right? My first time at a B-Sides was in Vegas, and they had the lockpick village, and I'd never done it before. And I was like, this looks cool. Let's see what's up. I'm gonna drop down here. It took me like 30 minutes because I sucked. I just didn't understand it. And then somebody sat down with me and explained to me how lockpicking worked and why it was vulnerable and how it's a really simple yet effective tool for explaining security, right? Because everybody generally understands what a lock is and what it does. It's meant to secure things. It's got a system and you need the key, right? And if you only have the key, are you able to unlock and gain access to the thing that it's locking up, right? Well, that's the idea. But guess what? What if I don't have the key? Can I still open the lock? Yeah, because there's flaws in the security system of the lock. The way physically those pins inside work, and the cylinder and the springs and the pin, all the stuff, right? You got the shear pin. You got, I can't remember the name of the other pins now. Is it the push pin or the spring pin? I forget. The ones that are in the spring, they're actually trying to push it down. It's been a while since I was into all that stuff, like big time. But you start to see that these things can be finagled. They can be manipulated into giving up its access without the key. You just have to know how the system works, where the flaws are, and it becomes really fun. And when that first lock pops, when you apply the knowledge and the tool and it works, you're like, dopamine just dumps through you. You're like, I love this. Give me another lock. And you want to try it again, right? And you're like starting to refine what you've learned and get better at it and start to get the feel. And now it becomes an art as much as it is a science. And it can be a lot of fun. I used to I just go to the store and buy locks and be like, and I would just sit around watching TV and picking locks. It's very, very fun. Being able to play with like software-defined radio or hardware, all that stuff is super cool, super fun. And then the people that took training, man, the training was great. Jordan and Kent, they did this whole thing on basically, well, when I sat in it, it was all on like in looking for or creating, let me put it this way. I sit there for maybe 15, 20 minutes watching them, and they were explaining how to basically look through your Azure log or your Sentinel logs and create good lookup functions and queries that you could use that are gonna elicit a lot of like password spraying and things that are happening against your organization, and how to do that. Super cool to watch, man. A lot of fun stuff. I was sitting a little bit in Michael Allen's initial access for red teamers, right? Like, oh my goodness. And guess what? Fun fact, that wasn't a talk, Haircut Fish. That was training. Forget the, I'm just escaping me right now on the name of Kent Eichler and Jordan. I can't remember Jordan's last name off the top of my head. Is there any hands-on during the training, or is it only lectures? No, there is hands-on during the training. You will definitely do labs. Labs. So they explain everything. So funny, my first Wild West Hackin' Fest way back in the day in Deadwood, when in the first Wild West Hackin' Fest, I got to sit training for the first 2 days, which I did on web app pen testing with Tim Tomes, and I learned so much from that. It was such a help for me to understand a lot of what I was doing and being able to like manipulate and work with Burp Suite and things of that nature. It was so worth it to go sit one of those classes and have access. And you know me, like I love the video on demand training because I can stop, I can slow down, I can kind of organically move. But there is something special about having that experience in the classroom. Yeah, lots of fun. So there was great training first couple of days. Everybody loved it. I've run into so many people taking pictures with them. So I really appreciate everybody that's like, that watches here and see me here and stop me. That's so much fun. Love it. Have had a great time. What time is it? Got about 20 minutes. You know, hanging out with Zach and Kathy and all my anti-siphon people that I normally just see in Teams meetings. Yeah, lots of fun there. Assume Compromise. Thank you, Haircut Fish. Assume Compromise with Jordan Drysdale and Kent Eichler. Very, very good. Very high level. They work as a tandem team in that, so it's really fun to watch them kind of go bounce back and forth. And they're just fun guys. I've been hanging out a lot with Brett and Patterson Cake, and man, got to have great conversations with like Tim Medine, Red Seed CEO. We sat and just chewed the fat for probably a half an hour. I really, really enjoy Tim. He's a great guy. If you're ever at a con, just look for the giant mountain of a man who is wearing the Red Siege stuff. That is Tim Medine. If you're not familiar with Tim as well, he created the whole Kerber roasting thing. That's where he came up with. Let's see here. Wayne says he's got that like phlegmed me up. Is there any hands-on Drysdale? Yeah, that's Jordan's last name. Wayne says he's got to get out there in person sometime. You're absolutely right, brother. I got to see you and give you a good handshake and a bro hug. Haircut says if you see Brandon Potter with Pro Circular, tell him I said hi. I will do that if I do. Absolutely. So yeah, man, just trying to bring you guys a little bit of the con. So tell you what you. Of course, all this is being recorded. Not this, but this is being recorded. But so is the con, all the talks and stuff. So eventually, this will make its way to the interwebs for your viewing pleasure, and so you'll get to see firsthand what that was all about. I did mention Dorota. She did a talk on social engineering and physical assessments of getting in. It was her first talk. She was super nervous, but it was kind of endearing and charming to and of course English is not her first language. So I was super proud of her for getting up on that stage for someone that does, like, I get on stages and I make myself out there for the public as part of my regular work. And I know how hard it is. And anybody that's never done it can look at people like myself and others that do it all the time and go, oh, it's easy. Go ahead and give it a shot. Give it a whirl. And she did great. I was very proud of her, and the crowd was very supportive. And because I think that was what was great about it, is like, we understand the hurdles that she's having to go through to get up on that stage and deliver this talk on social engineering, but she really laid out a good foundational knowledge on what it takes, and then even some cool gear, because she showed how she has this watch that does de-authing of Wi-Fi that she uses to shut down IP cameras. I was like, yeah, that's cool, right? That's fun. And so she did just so big shout out to Dorota. Follow her on LinkedIn if you're not already. Let's see here. That's just the day one of the con. Of course, just meeting people. I got to meet up with John Hammond. It was good to see him. I haven't got to hang out with him in a little bit. So we kind of like sat around his table for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes and just caught up. And he's a busy dude. Like, he comes out and people want to mob him. So I waited until he wasn't mobbed. I was up working the stage anyway, and then was like, "Hey, bro." He's like, "Oh, Daniel, what's up? Will I be at the next Wild West Hackin Fest?" I will. Yeah, I should be. As long as they don't like cut ties with me in some weird way. Yeah, I'll be at a lot of their con stuff. So I'll be at B-Sides in Tampa coming up. So if you make your way out there, I don't know if anybody that's in Florida, or if you're just interested in flying out, B-Sides Tampa is usually fairly worth it. I've been to a few of the B-Sides Tampas, and they're like, last year, I want to say they had almost 2,000 people, right? Talks were fire. That's where I met Jacob Swinzinski from Dark Wolf and Hannah. They gave a talk on, it was the first talk I sat. I was there with Pat Gorman, InfoSec Pat, and KevTech. Kevin, I can't pronounce his last name. I won't butcher it, Kev. Apollinaro? Something like that. It's only if it's in front of me can I kind of read it. But yeah, that has been a really good con to go to. And so if you're looking for cons, your local B-side, CJ, yes, that is where we met. Was it not awesome, right? Was not like just a phenomenal con, and it just keeps getting better and better and better every year? And I think that's catching on, and why it continues to get better and better and better is that people are like, oh, I heard that B-Sides Tampa is actually worth the effort. It's like, yes, it was. And then I went to B-Sides St. Pete, which is a little bit south of that. It was like the month after, and I wasn't sure if it was going to go because they were so close together. And I was like, and it was, I think B-Sides Tampa ticket is like $45. So you're not spending money on going to the con. You're spending money on getting there if you're out of state, right? And if you're in state, it's like some gas money. It's like really reasonable. And then B-Sides St. Pete wasn't expensive at all. It was, I was like, I can't not go to this. It's just a drive and a day of hanging out. Like, and it was great. I hung out with a bunch of people. I met a bunch of people, and we did great talks. It was like, this is why you go to these things. See, so cool. And now I know that this CJ is that CJ. I love that. And then I went to B-Sides Orlando, which was also really good. Like, so B-Sides, man, if you guys are sleeping on your local B-Sides, or if you don't have one, you need to like look into CNY or what's close to you as far as B-Sides go. And they can be really good. I know the ones in Florida have been, from my experience, thoroughly worth the effort. It doesn't cost a lot to go. I am also hoping to get out to Hack Space Con this year. I don't know if that's going to happen. Just saying, schedules are what schedules are. I really enjoy going to Hack Space Con. So I want to go. LeGrat says a friend of theirs went to B-Sides where he's at, and it was good. Wayne has picked up the gauntlet. Challenge has been accepted. He is going to try as well. Good job. And the reason is because I have probably met, I don't know, I got to meet a bunch of people like in real life that I normally only see online. And so that's always cool. And then I've met people that I've never met before, that I never would have met before had they not shown up at the con. And one guy was like, hey, I was a pilot in the military, and then they asked me to pivot into cyber. And I had to get 3 certs, which was the Security Plus, CEH, and CISSP. And I used your training, and it was so good. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. And he did it in like 6 months. I'm like, dude, you are super smart if you absorb all that knowledge and passed all those exams within a 6-month time. Oh man, right? Like, we're not worthy. You can pull out the Wayne's World quotes. It was just crazy. A super nice guy, right? People wanting to take photos and just tell me how they know me and from the training that they've watched. Met a guy out here named Jeremiah. He works for, he's doing making training for Jason Dion. Man, me and him just, right, so quickly just connected and hung out. Super good dude. I really like to shout out to Jeremiah. I don't know your last name, Jeremiah, honestly, but there you go. Whew. Brett from Anti-Siphon and Black Hills. He goes by Suidin, right? If you see him online, that's his kind of his screen handle. Who else is out here? I've seen obviously a lot of BHIS people that I normally see, like oh my goodness. I love when my mind blanks out. You met Brett last year at Charm. Oh yeah, Haircut Fish said he loves B-Sides Harrisburg and B-Sides Charm. A lot of people, apparently that is the case. I've heard that come out of multiple heads here about that. So yeah, very cool. We met Brett last year at Charm. He's a good guy. Solid, bro. Solid. Well, yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Please bring it up in the chat. You know what to do. Ask questions. Get answers. They might not be the right answers, but they'll be answers. LeGrasse says, sorry, Daniel and everyone, have to chat the rest on Team Replay. Well, we appreciate you showing up at all, man. Don't you fret about that at all. Have to attend a memorial for a friend's mom. Well, thoughts and prayers. Y'all take care and chat soon again. Have fun in Denver. Thank you very much. Safe trip home again. Thank you very much. I hope to. My trip out here was actually like my best travel ever, I would say. I flew United. I don't think I've ever flown United before, but I flew United this time. And it went really well. It was good. I got good parking, had good rides from airport to con. It's going to be great. Wayne asks, how do people get over imposter syndrome at the cons? I think that is a phenomenally good question, Wayne. And because you can see the people that are like, they recognize you or they want to get into the conversation. And I'll give you a prime example. B-Sides Orlando. I told you I talked to John Hammond. I was talking to John Hammond about B-Sides Orlando because I ran into Jason Haddix, who was speaking at B-Sides Orlando, and then me and Infosec Pat and Jason and this guy, I forget his name now, but it was a dude that kind of popped up and was hanging out in the circle of the conversation that we were having. And Jason and I hit it off really well. Apparently he was aware of me and my work. I didn't know that. I've been a longtime fan of Jason and his work. So it was really nice for us to connect there. And I've seen it. He's here in Denver. Woohoo, Jason Haddix, shout out. Please follow him. Check out his stuff. He's a very smart guy. He's got a lot of good information. He has been doing this a while, and he will help you very much in getting good knowledge in the brain, right? So back to the story. This guy was like, just kind of like chilling. And he kind of like was asking, was like, yeah, bring something to the table. Just figure out a question that's going to be really good. Like, have a question that you want to get answered or and that's something that I'm just going to throw a question in the mix, right? This is a great way to kind of get over your anxiety of seeing people that you kind of might feel like you are beneath them. You're not, right? Everybody's a noob at something. Like Mike yesterday in his talk, these, apparently more seasoned developers in that space were like asking him questions, but he didn't know the answer. You know what he said? I don't know. It's a good question. If I get time, I'll look into that. And that's how you got to be. You can't worry about what you do and don't know, other than you just go there and see if you can find some other people that might have that same interest and start having conversations with them, and very well may get the answer to your question, and very well may make a new friend, right? Might make a new acquaintance, might make another LinkedIn connection, and start that, right? And build that relationship up. So just stop worrying about who you think is better than you, and just the only time you should ever worry about who's better than you is it should be yesterday you. As long as today you is better than yesterday you, at the end of the day, that's the only person you should care about whether or not you are better than, right? That's always my advice for getting over imposter syndrome. And it goes to the cons. Put yourself out there, get over that approach anxiety, just walk up, and no one's going to bite you. Everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody here wants to talk about cybersecurity and how it impacts their job, how it impacts, what they're doing fun with it. So ask good questions, answer questions, like bring that to the table. Any knowledge you have, throw it out there. If you don't understand what's happening, go, you know what, I don't understand that. That's a really interesting thing. What's some good resources for me to pick up on that? Outlaw 11, what's up? We've been live for a little while. We only got about 10 minutes left, and then I'm gonna bounce. But right, yeah, what are we looking at? Yeah, well, 7 minutes, I guess, not quite 10. But I'm glad you made it out there. Goonies never say die. That's right. Just go for it, man. Throw it out there. No one's. I don't run into a lot of like gatekeeping, right? Especially at cons. People just want to talk, and if they know something, it makes them feel good to be able to share that with you, and then you get the benefit of hearing that knowledge and experience, and then you get to assimilate that into your person and kind of like take that stuff. One of my favorite things to do at cons is listen to conversations, listen to talks and stuff, and any little thing and usually it's that random passerby that they just assume everybody knows. And I might not like, what the heck is that? I remember my first Wild West Hackin Fest is a prime example. They kept talking, and somebody kept saying the word, and I'm like, are you saying Mimi cats? What is this? So I took out my phone and I made a note, Mimi cats. And I went back to my hotel that night and I looked up Mimi. I'm like, oh, okay, well let's fire up an AD and build a VM with whatever server was available at the time. Whatever rendition was, probably like 2016, and see if I can Mimi cats run and dump things, and oh, look at that, that's cool. And then that's how you start to really grow your knowledge. Let's see here. Super User Do says, is it a red flag to potential employers to skip certs? As in jump to Pentest Plus but missing Net Plus. It just depends on the prospective, that's the word, on the prospective employer, right? In the job post, do they mention Network Plus? If they don't, you ain't gonna worry about it. I wouldn't even put it on even if I had it and they didn't mention it, I wouldn't put it on there unless I thought it was relevant. Maybe if they didn't mention Network Plus, where they're like solid networking or understanding of network and network technologies, then I might throw something like if I had Net Plus or CCNA or whatever networking certification you want to chuck on the fire, then I might make it on there. But if I didn't have it, I wouldn't. Right? I obviously don't lie. We don't like that here. It's not what we do. But that would be the only reason it would be pertinent to that specific job application. If you are YOLOing out resumes and it's the same resume to every single possible employer, you're not doing it right. Okay? So stop doing that and start looking at those posts and working on your resume so that it fits that post, that fits that job role, as much as you can, right? It needs to be tailored as much as possible towards that perspective role, okay? Because they don't care about the other stuff. Otherwise, they would have put it in the post. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Code Brew says, for such a technical industry with so many smart people, it's amazing how little gatekeeping there is. You know why? Because we already knocked that barrier down. We don't want to build it back up. We hated that crap. It sucked. I don't care. I'll tell you what you want. Like, I'm here, right? Ask me a question. If I know the answer, I'll give it to you. I don't care. Yes. Do I sell training? I do. Well, I did. At one time, that paid my bills. Now it technically doesn't, but I still want to make training that I will put some money on it and want to make some money from it. You know, maybe eventually even doing in-person live stuff, right? But if you're at a con, we're just having a conversation, right? And they'll say for a more structured thing, I do have a course on that. And, you know, anybody that knows me knows I'm not about trying to be some sort of like Jeff Bezos tech millionaire kind of thing. I don't care. You know, if I can make a little extra money so I can take my family on a vacation, or if that became my, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to be super rich. I don't care about that. I just care about paying my bills and everybody having a good time. Rumor has it that I am working on a class for documentation. I did that already. It is a good rumor. It's a true rumor. Editing has been almost done. It's going to be free. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be available through either Anti-Siphon or BHIS. I don't know where they're going to stick it. Maybe both, but probably Anti-Siphon. But yeah, it was fun. It's short, but it should definitely get you where you need to go. Let's see here. Daniel Larry, a buddy went, and that was something he said that made his first con feel not fun. What specifically was that? Was that there was some gatekeeping going on? Like people didn't want to tell him stuff? I know you got to type that, but yeah. How about Lowry B-side King Con 2026? All the hackers hang out. Yeah, that would be fun. I wish so that could be cool. I don't know what it takes to put on a con other than money. I know it takes money, right? Because you got to rent a place. Imposter syndrome. Gotcha. Wayne was telling me I'm jumping from one conversation to another. Oh man, we're almost out of time. Crapola. Yep, it's about that time, kids. Well, hopefully you've been doing your homework from last week. I don't have a deck of the backdoors and breaches with me. There's some downstairs. You are welcome for the stream, Paris. I'm glad to do it. It's fun. I like doing it. I was just telling somebody that. I was like, oh, it's John Hammond. I was like, I should have started doing streams a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't. I still like doing, like, I'll put out like a recorded something or other this month. I already got an idea. I want to do one a month where I pre-record something and put it in there. And that's where I monetize it. I don't monetize this. Someone was telling me to monetize the stream. And you tell me, should I monetize the stream? Right? You guys tell me. If you don't care, I'll monetize it and I'll make whatever money I can get. It's always not a lot. So, like, and when I say not a lot, I mean not a lot. I think my current estimate for this month's revenue is like $18, right? So you are very welcome to the stream. A monster should sponsor me for sure. Listen, just because they have the tastiest drink on earth doesn't mean they're gonna come knocking on my door, but that would be cool. But yeah, I love doing the stream. I enjoy hanging out with you good folks. And thank you so much. Make money, bro. Make money, right? Yeah. That'll be fun. And maybe I will. Who knows? I have no issues with anybody making a buck, literally. Thank you, Code Brew. I appreciate that. I deserve it. Well, I appreciate it. I'll ask that a couple more times, you know, when we got more people in the chat. I think we've only had about 20 something in the chat this time because, you know, nobody knew I was doing it. But we'll see how it goes next week and see what other people say. And I'll continue to ask for what people think about that. If you guys don't care, then yeah, I'll throw the monetization on it and we'll have fun. I don't get a ton of views on these things, so. But yeah, if I can make like a couple $100 a year. Everybody needs to make that money. That's right, Steger. How am I supposed to get them chains, player? Well, thank you, Sierra Montgomery. I appreciate you saying that. I think you deserve it. I try. I want to bring you guys high quality stuff. Well, kids, it's time for con stuff. I've enjoyed our time of dialogue, and we will be back next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern with more CyberCast IRL. If you like this, obviously hit that like and subscribe. And I am trying to grow subscribers. I don't have that many. I think it would be fun not just to pump the numbers, but to reach more people and bring you all together. If this can be a good spot for everyone to come together, and I kind of want to get past that barrier where I know a lot of you from like Simply Cyber and Anti-Siphon and the place that shall not be named and that kind of stuff. I want to reach new people and make more connections and build relationships with new people and meet new cool and bring them to our party. I think that would be awesome. So yeah, if you know someone that is into cyber and they're not familiar with the show, challenge them to come and hang out with us if they've got the time, and or at least watch the recorded, right after it's done. They can go watch the recorded show, and at least throw a comment in the comment section, and do that as well. Like anything you think of after the fact, come back to the recording and throw that in the comment section, because that's forever, right? That's easy access to people's thoughts and things of that nature, and we can all continue to have this same conversation in that area as kind of like a repo. And then of course, I'm fairly certain I'm going to go with a Discord channel. I'm gonna start a Discord channel. Again, things need to be easy, and it will come as we move down the road, and I have the time to make those things happen. But I'm fairly certain that I've resolved myself to the fact that we are going to do some Discord stuff. I think that would be fun. All right, everyone. Thanks everyone for joining me yet again. So do we dress like Daniel and grow beard? Absolutely. That's the only way to fly. How about an old school LAN party? That would be awesome, CJ. That would be super fun. We'll play like Quake or Doom or something. It'll be a good time had by all. I'm gonna peace out. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep hacking. Now, where do I make this thing stop? Oh, there it is. Okay.